Welcome, welcome. I'm Chef Wilson. We'd like to welcome everybody to Man's Edition, and it's presented by Creative Emotions. This is a very special show for us because it's the last show for us for the season for Man's Edition. We enjoyed everyone who has tuned in throughout the year. We're just going to recap how 2024 affected us, right? The shows, what we learned from it, and our vision for 2025. We're going to laugh a little bit. We're not going to cry, though. But we're going to laugh a little bit. So before I get started with this, I have this amazing, my brother. I didn't know him up until the show, but throughout this year, can you turn that volume down? Throughout the year, I've grown to learn a lot about this man, his accomplishments. We celebrate some victories in his life as well as mine. So I always say no one can ever introduce you the way that you can introduce yourself. So can you please introduce yourself once again for the audience?
Yes, sir. Hello. Hey, everybody doing? Hey, Q. Mr. Q, we didn't see you in a little while. I would like to say thank everybody for tuning in. This is a beautiful and a blessed show that we're about to have. We missing our brother Lee Polo right now. He was a little busy. He couldn't chime in and everything, but he told me to tell all y'all he love y'all and thank y'all. My name is Mr. Randy X. A lot of people call me Randy. My Muslim name is Malik. Right. Thank y'all for having us today.
That's right. You got that hair tight, my brother. I got to give my brother a compliment.
Thank you, brother. You know I got to stay on point now.
And then on the ones and twos, can you please introduce yourself? Because you will be a part of this discussion also.
Okay, well, my name is Shan, and I'm engineering tonight. So thank y'all for having me.
Thank you, Miss Shan.
I wish we can do before and after show clips, because before the show we just had some amazing conversation. It was a show all in itself. And I really enjoy your energy, I have to tell you. Very transparent person here, your energy. So as we move forward in 2025, whenever you move forward in life, you can't help but to look behind you. The only way you can appreciate victories is if you look what prevailed you to move forward towards a victory. Some things made you cry, some things that you had disappointing moments. But then when we look back on Man's Edition, the whole concept of the show is for man to be transparent and for society to see us in another light. And for women to better understand what they're asking for. So when I look back and I look at Randy, and as he told his story about how he originally came here to the show, you shared a lot of things. You shared poetry, scriptures, personal stories. Throughout the year, you lost your uncle, and we discussed that. I would always say, I tell people, we just life certified. So anything that we're talking about, we most definitely experience. We're not talking about things out of a book and trying to self-explain them. We're just talking about the process that we went through to get here. So Randy, like when you look back on this year, is it any particular episode that stood out in your mind that meant so much to you?
Yes, but first and foremost, as you just said, I had lost my uncle. Mm-hmm. That was a little bit of like last year, but this year I lost my mother. I lost my mother, like right before my birthday, and so this year I don't look at it as a bad thing. I actually look at it as a good thing. It's because I think I kind of gained some wings a little bit from losing my mother, because you will never be the same when you lose a parent. Mm-hmm. But I'm trying my best to look at everything as a blessing instead of as a tragedy or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I just take anybody listening that lost a parent, I know it's really hard. It's like a part of us left out of our body, And we understand that, and we can never get that back. But I'll just say this to y'all. This is what kept me and keep me constantly striving to be the best man I could be for myself, my family, my friends. Is always just think about all the good things that I shared, all the good memories that I shared with my mother. And, you know, if y'all don't know my journey, I was locked up for 21 years. So I've been home for 3 years. So I spent all the time I could with her in the midst of me being home throughout this duration of time. So the really crazy part about this is, like, it was Mother's Day. So I always go see her every week, but this particular Mother's Day, I was up there for like 6-7 hours, man. And I started calling a lot of people like that she never heard from, I'm talking about in years and years. FaceTime them and everything. But it was just the spirit moving in me. You see what I'm saying? I'm saying this is what I identify as a 9. Because then 3 days later, right after that, that's when she passed away. And there wasn't nothing wrong with her or nothing. So I was really messed up like, dang. You know, we was just having a nice time for 6-7 hours, you know? But so I look at it as God was moving through me at that moment because they knew that she was tired. You know, when the person on dialysis, man, that stuff drains you. It really drains you. So I say to anybody, parents or family members that's in nursing homes on dialysis and stuff like that, spend all the time you can with your loved ones because you never know. They, you know, tomorrow ain't promised.
And, you know, I can really relate to that because it's been almost 2 years now. My mom has been recovering from a stroke, right? So some of our memories sometimes is hit and miss, right? But, you know, out of 7 kids, I'm the youngest, you know, so I got 5 sisters and a twin brother. And she always remembered to ask about me. So when we have conversations now, we laugh and talk. She still has not walked since then, but our conversations, it makes me feel like she's walking the room.
Yes, sir.
You understand what I'm saying? And when I talk to her, it's never a woe is me conversation. I'm still like asking my mom advice on stuff. You know what I'm saying? I had asked my mother, and it's funny way, because when you lose a parent, I haven't lost my mom, but I lost a part of her, if you can understand that part. Because when you have a stroke, sometimes it affects your memory, right? And your ability to speak and respond quickly, right? So it taught me to have more patience. I was already working on it, but I never wanted to ask God for patience because he put things in your life that would test it. And, you know, now as I talk to my mom and just listening to you, I'm learning to give her flowers now. And I want her to feel like a mom, so I still come to her talk to her about things, and we laugh, you know, because that's what we used to do before. So if you're out there and you, like Randy said, if you lost your parent, I think through Randy's testimony, I think everybody can relate to that. So that's what part of Man Edition is about. We're not just like these, like we want to take our capes off sometimes too. Outside of providing knowledge or financial support, spiritual support, mental support, at the end of the day, we need someone to pour into also. So what this show is all about, letting men know it's okay and letting women know that, hey, these men need somebody to receive this, right? So outside of our masculine energy, at the end of the day, somebody always has that person. And if you're that person, just realize and really be excited that you are that person that this man can pour into. Because he's not going to pour into everybody because the world has taught him not to. Okay? Sometimes we deal with the wrong people in life, and they will have you not be transparent and open. Okay?
Yes, sir.
That part right there, because and it's our decision. We choose the wrong ones. So this was the foundation of the show. We've talked about over the years about, I think the last show was Big Boys and Our Toys. And we had Shay on. He was talking about his motorcycle. And Shay said, my garage is my sanctuary where I go and work on my motorcycle. It's peaceful for me. And it's different for every man. It may be the basement and the man cave. But understand, ladies, that man need this. One thing we need most in life, and I don't know if what I'm about to say, if you guys disagree, guys, call me. But one thing we do need is peace. We need the peace. I mean, it's, I think that is probably at the top of the list, outside of, God, right? But peace is so very important to us.
Yes, sir.
Loyalty is very important to us because every man has a king mentality. He's always looking for someone to build with. Now, we make wrong decisions. We turn red flags into green, and we entrust our kingdom with the wrong person. It may be our purpose, our gifts, and our vision. But, man, if you're listening, it's still a queen out there. She going to listen. She going to be loyal. She going to respect you. She's going to come in your life, and she's not going to tear down everything you built thus far. And I'm just not talking about financial. I'm talking about spiritual health, mental health, physical health. Come on now. And then she's going to listen to what happened to you in the past, and that your person is not going to use it against you, ever. So this platform was all about, man, to talk and be very transparent without being judged. And not taking away any type of masculine energy, because we are being transparent. Ain't nobody being sassy. Guess what? We just have boundaries and standards.
Yes, sir.
For the rest of our life that we have in front of us. Okay.
Now you remember the show when we was talking about rhythm, momentum, endurance creates balance. Mm-hmm. So we doing a recap on what we done had. Different shows throughout this year.
Yes.
Remember, we tied into everything in life has a rhythm, momentum, endurance to it, right? And that's pertaining to how you carry yourself, the goals you set for yourself, your management skills, your financial skills, your dating skills, But I just wanted to share something, right? I had got this shirt, right? And a lot of people gravitated towards this shirt when I wear this particular shirt, right? They say, pray for your ops. Now, I didn't get the shirt pertaining to how people view it, right? So I want to put a little bit more meaning to the shirt. Now, when people see the shirt, right, people automatically go off the flesh, so they automatically think you talking about the opposition of another individual, right? I got the shirt particular because I identify with myself being our own worst enemy.
Absolutely.
Right, so I say, when I pray for my op, I mean to pray for myself, because we are our own worst enemies. You see what I'm saying? See, can't nobody else say something to you or do something to you without you being the last judgment and decision maker of what they say and do to you.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And so in order for you to maintain your calmness and your patience and your obedience and your discipline, you have to spend time with yourself. So you mentioned the man's cave, right? But it's a woman cave too, right? And I really, I think by doing a lot of time and stuff like that, I know the importance of like spending time with yourself. That's really when you get yourself together. You get your thoughts together. You get to praying. Prayer is a form of meditation, and that's what's needed as well, So I just wanted to say that part. But everybody listening, I know everybody always make New Year's resolutions and stuff like that, right? But you know what, y'all? Let's switch it up. We ain't making no more New Year's resolutions, right? How about we just switch our mindset up to do the right thing and move accordingly to your will anyway.
Absolutely.
All year round.
So I didn't want to get too far away from this, but you had said something, and I was going to be yourself and I had posted something earlier, and I said sometimes in life you may have to tell your own thoughts, not today. I don't want to hear it.
Yes, sir. I seen that too. I liked that thought. I liked that quote.
Yes. Sometimes in life, you may have to tell your own thoughts, not today. I do not want to hear it. So most self-thoughts, hatred, jealousy starts in your mind, and the other person you may call the opposite know nothing about it. It may be a quality that they have that you appreciate, but then at the same time you despise it. But what you should be despising is your thoughts, right? Instead of complimenting a person on a place that you would like to excel to. So, when I want one of those t-shirts, they come in other colors too?
Yeah, I got about 3-4 colors.
Okay, all right, I need one. I need a medium because I like mine to fit. So, all right,
especially after you do 400-500 push-ups.
Boy, them guns be popping.
It's going down, brother.
You may just catch you a case of a wife. However, what you said was it hit home. So we can talk about a lot of current events on this show, but we try to steer away from that because current events is something that just trends. But what really should be trending is your purpose in life and your gifts. I tell people all the time, people need to know that you were here, right? So you got a reason. We're only here because our forefathers were smart enough, wise enough, and strong enough to make proper decisions. Some bloodlines were cut short because of lack of. And if you hear, just know that your ancestors were strong enough, smart enough, and wise enough to think enough of you 100 years later, 70 years later, to make a decision so you can be here to live out your purpose in life. So if you're here and you're wasting time after, especially if you're African American, after slavery, discrimination, to not walk in purpose and share your gifts, shame on you. So as we go through this show, we're going to talk about a couple other shows that kind of stood out, but legacy is very, very important. And remember, if you struggling with what I'm saying, people need to know that you are here because we're not here forever. Right? So whatever you can impact somebody's life, you can be somebody on the block. Say, I always remember Randy X always kicked some good knowledge with us, and it helped me not to make the wrong decision in life. Right? And we need to be that guy and that lady on the block. Right? Because you're here for a short amount of time. But your legacy just is not your kids. It's your knowledge that you leave behind. That's really what it is, your legacy, right? Somebody will be talking about you far when you're gone 4, 5, 20 years from now, right? Big Mama, I remember Big Mama got everybody together, did a barbecues, made sure that we got together on Christmas. Granddaddy, he did his thing. He made sure we understood the power of family. And they've been going for a while, but it turned into a tradition, not a trend. See, I'm going to speak on this now. We're trending, but what Trump's trend is tradition. Let's get back into tradition, okay? Not a trend. Trend is for accolades, for attention, right? And then your tradition is for legacy, okay? It's passed through.
Like how we started this podcast pertaining to Men's Edition, like we need to talk about creating more Big Brother programs like it used to be back in the day. Like society and the youth is really out of hand right now because there's not no role models, right? I mean, the role models is really like far-fetched nowadays, right?
What you mean by that, far-fetched? Because I know, but what do you mean for the audience?
What I mean by far-fetched is like we went away from that. Like this is one thing I noticed since I've been out, man. Like everybody is very selfish. This is like not the 90s. I got locked up in 2000, so this is not the 90s. The 90s, right? People still show love. You could feel the love in the air.
Absolutely.
You can't really feel the love anymore. And you know why though? Because the youth done lost respect for the elders, right? Because the elders kind of failed. So we kind of failed the youth. So that's why the youth is kind of out of hand. I'm a prime example myself for that. Like, far as my nephews and things like that, I'm a lot of my nephews' only uncle. You know what I'm saying? So since I've been out, you know, I've had conversations with my nephews and stuff like that, and you know, they was really disappointed in me for getting locked up. They kind of felt like I left them out here. And so I had to man up and apologize to them for me being selfish in my actions without thinking for others. I made my own decision, right?
Yep.
That's what a lot of us tend to do. A lot of us tend to make our own decisions not knowing that it affects other people. Other people that love you, you know?
Let me ask you something, Randy, and I think I said this on previous shows, and I said, man, one of the most powerful gifts you have is being in control of your desires. And I'm just not talking about women. So when you made decision, was it your desire to be wealthy, to be comfortable, financially set? And so when you hear that, being in control of your desires and having accountability, would you say when you say you let them down, is it because you weren't in control of your desires to?
Yes. I was 24 at the time.
Okay.
I thought that I was a grown adult because a lot of us think because we come at the age of 21 that we are grown.
Okay.
We are actually not grown. Your maturity level is about your decision making, not your age. Because there's people 40 and 50 still sagging and carrying themselves as they in their 20s still. So that don't mean that they grown. That means that they age. That's their age determine the fact. But once people see gray on their face and their head, then they say that's a grown man, so you're going to be held accountable. But a lot of us feel like, due to the fact of our age, that we know the difference between right and wrong, and that's not true.
Okay.
Your maturity level is what determines the fact of right and wrong in your decision making, not your age. You know what I'm saying? No, for real. Because I was 24 and I made a decision as a young man, as a teenager. That's a decision that I made. So I wasn't grown at the time I thought I was. After I got out of prison and took accountability for my actions and identified for myself that I messed up, I didn't blame it on nobody else. Because a lot of us will do 100 years and still get out and still blame it on somebody else. That means that they never matured in there. They never grew. They was in the same mentality. They were stuck. So now that's why they're doing the same exact thing that they was doing 20 years ago, just like a lot of other individuals that you left before you came back out, they're still doing the same thing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so no accountability, basically.
Yeah, and that's one quality, that's one attribute of a man and a woman, is taking accountability for your actions. A lot of us can't do that, man. A lot of us can't do that.
So let's do this. I'm on just in this. We don't stick with the man, and because that's another show with the women. However, you said a lot in such a short amount of time. So moving forward to 2025, what's your vision and what do you see for Man's Edition?
What I see for Man's Edition? Well, I think that we need to start having the youth on here. We need to have conversations. We need to start bringing young men on the show, asking them questions, right? So people can hear where their mindsets is at and how they are functioning.
Absolutely.
Right? See, that's the blind side of things. We don't know how they thinking. And we don't know why they thinking this way. And we don't know if they was to come across other individuals that have talks with them, then that could spark something in them to change their mindset, right? And then they could be an example for their peers.
Absolutely. And I like that because the reason why I asked you that, because that was one thing I was thinking, right? So vision for 2025 is to, we enlighten men on marriage, relationships, health. But I think what we should do, and like you were saying, and I was thinking, let's bring the youth on here so we can better understand their perspective on life. Because if we can feed them what they need in a meal through knowledge, I think we will have a turnaround. I'm not going to say it's just going to be a quick turnaround, but progressively, I think we can see what we visualize for our son, our daughters, nephews, and nieces, and future children if you don't even have them, right?
Yes.
So I like that, Randy. Let's do that most definitely. Man.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
Now, do you have a certain, because I had a certain age group in mind, and I was thinking about maybe 25 to 32, 33. What were you thinking?
I'm thinking about 15 years old, 18 years old, and 23.
23.
Right, we got to have a gap. We need to have 3 of them so we can have the gap if we have no determining factor of what the problem is in between. Because, from a young child perspective, a little young girl or a young guy, they make up their mind in middle school. Middle school is the turning point in their whole life.
Oh my God!
So it's not high school. It's not high school. It's middle school.
Middle school is brutal.
Right? No, I'm saying it's middle school.
Yeah, I said it's
middle
brutal.
school. Soon as they come into the 6th grade, they introduced to a whole nother level. But actually, they introduced in elementary now because of social media. You see what I'm saying? So, but we just saying the turning point. We need to focus on middle school because we're trying to help them direct their will, because they don't know about the will, but we need to help them direct their will.
And I like that you said that, because if we look back over generations, some of our grandparents started families when they was 15, 14, 16 years old, right? They made a way. So sometimes I talk to parents and they say, oh, that's too much for them. I said, no, it isn't. Whenever hormones change and young ladies and young men start to mature, it's the time where you introduce them to life. I think we wait way too long, so their progression in life, even in noticing their gifts and purpose in life and their value in life, they make way too many decisions once they realize their part, right? Which devalues anyone at that point. Even if when they discover these things about themselves, sometimes it all depends on someone's capability of growth. They may not think that they're capable or they're just to receive what their heart wants. So I think 15 is a very good age, okay?
Yes.
So we're going to move on because I know this time is clicking.
Yeah, but we never let y'all know that y'all can call in and chime in, right? And,
Absolutely.
And ask some questions as well. The number is at the bottom of the screen. It's 810-560-0658.
Yes.
We would love to hear from y'all, right? And we would love for y'all to share and let us know that we are having a nice conversation with certain directions we are going in, with certain directions y'all want us to go in, right? And just to see if if we are having a very interesting discussion at this present time.
You know what? And we're open, and we're going to also develop a page where we will be discussing topics that our listening audience want us to discuss, right? So I think that's very, very important. We give you what we think that our life experiences have been, but you guys have questions and things that you would like for us to address. So we're going to do that coming up in 2025, because that's what it's all about. We're not here for the likes or notoriety and to be popular. We're just here to give back. We're just here to give back. We're all, I think I said this before, we life certified. So I think we all on this panel have went through things in life that say, you know what, I don't want anyone to go through this. So let me share this. They're going to make their own fair share of mistakes, but I don't want them to make these. So moving forward, we will be doing that. And I would really like to, I'm very excited to see what type of topics our listening audience would like to discuss. Maybe we miss in 2024.
Yeah, most definitely. But you know what, though? I want to just discuss something for a quick second. Mm-hmm. So nowadays, right, we see that society lacks patience. Mm-hmm. And why do y'all think I'm saying that, y'all? Why do I say that I think that society lacks patience?
Why is that, sir?
Off of how everybody is driving out here.
Oh my God.
A lot of people is getting killed every single day because people is flying all day, every day. And you know why? Because everybody impatient. That's why a lot of different road rage happen, right? A lot of different accidents happen because everybody is impatient.
Absolutely.
And you know why everybody is impatient?
Why is that?
Because everybody is selfish. It's not about the other person. It's not about common courtesy. Mm-hmm. It's about them.
So you're saying it's about self-gratification?
It's about an I, man.
Self-gratification?
Yes, it's about an I.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? You know, back in the day, now listen, I'm not saying that people is not being generous like they used to back in the day and all that, but they actually not.
No, they're not.
They not, right? I'm saying, you know, back in the 80s, the 90s and stuff like that, man, like I said, you felt the love in the air.
Yeah, you most definitely.
Now you don't feel the love in the air, brother. Everybody want to know why this person is looking at me a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Why this person is not slowing down to let me, I was here first to turn in this lane. Somebody about to come around you to turn before you, and you already in the passing lane. I mean, the turning lane, man. Like, this is out of hand, for real. I know everybody can relate to this.
So you think it's because of people are
impatient, brother.
Impatient and have a spirit of competing. Right, because when I think of the early 80s and 90s and 70s, I can speak to it, old enough too. People were on a journey. People are not on a journey anymore. They're trying to get somewhere just to say, I got there first. Right? When you're on a journey, that means you're on a purpose. And on your purpose, you're sharing your gifts. People are not on that anymore. And so when you say you can feel it.
Why is that?
You got 10 minutes.
And why is that?
I like that's our clock. For social media. I talked about before, can we survive social media? We're constantly bombarded by people's thoughts. I'm old enough to know when a TV went off at a certain time. People were at better health, so they got proper rest. Right now, you're constantly on social media. People's eyesights are bad. Posture positions are bad because of the way they're looking at their phones. We are dealing with the most unhealthiest society that we've seen in years, right?
Yes.
People are forgetting to eat lunch, drink water, because they cannot get these phones out of their hand. You guys are listening to us now, but we are sharing, okay? So everything in moderation. We are overindulging in social media. Right.
Hey, look, you know what's so crazy? I ain't trying to cut you off, right?
Mm-hmm.
But look,
but you did.
No, sure. No, you could. No, real talk. You can continue. No, look, real talk. You can continue. I was just saying this though, because you was talking about the phones. Mm-hmm. But I was just sharing with you that we had went out to dinner. Me and my family. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of our family went out to dinner, man. Mm-hmm. And everybody down there was on their phone in the midst of prayer.
Don't you hate that?
No, in the midst of prayer. Ain't no hate that. Listen what I'm saying. Ain't no hating that. People is on their phone in the midst of prayer. So this is what I'm saying. I'm hitting it on the nose with you pertaining to social media and everything got everything messed up, man.
No, I agree with you 100%.
Everybody don't want to miss nothing. People on the toilet on the phone. People in the car on the phone. People is in the shower on the phone, brother.
And it's funny because this week I was in the bathroom. Somebody was on the toilet, but they was on social media. I said, "So your wife and the post." Don't hand me your phone when you get out here. Come on, check this out. Hey, look, don't receive nobody's phone.
That's what I'm saying.
But you are so right. People will miss out. Relationships will miss out on the most intimate and romantic moment because they can't put down the phone. People are tired of competing with social media. And if you are doing this, recognize it. You are wrecking your children's growth, right? And you're forcing them to have social media raise them. let's stop this. Right? You're destroying your relationship, your marriage, or your potential marriage from posting to seeing who posted recently. Cut it out. We got along with it. Look, before social media in the 70s, it was families of 14. So you know mom and dad was getting together on a regular. You know what I'm saying? Mom already knew the bill money was going to be short at the end of the month because they communicated. Okay. Now you just getting bombarded with an eviction letter. Ain't nobody talking to nobody because you been on social media. You forgot to tell her we getting evicted on the 5th. You know, because you've been posting all day. So, so I would agree with you on that. We're going to be wrapping up shortly. Within this time that we have, it'd be so much to share. But the one thing I want everybody to take away from this is our transparency. Ladies, we love you. I love ladies. And this show is all about you guys seeing a different part of men. Sure, we've been blessed with and given the responsibility of providing, not financially only, spiritual health, physical health, right? We are teachers in our home. We're own pastors in our home. So I would like to not look at any more posts about men just providing a certain lifestyle that was presented maybe by Disney. Somebody riding up on a horse and a buggy, right? Because you're missing a boat if you just think that men are supposed to provide financially, right? In most cases, we're here for our families to protect them from themselves. And the only reason why, because we've been in these streets. So we got life experiences when we made mistakes and we learned. And we may just tell our son or guys on the block, you may not want to do that. And we may tell our wives, we're not going to tell them no, but we said, no, it's not a good time for that, right? Because we experienced that. So moving forward with this show, like Randy said, we're going to speak to the youth of 15 because we have to start from the bottom up if we want to see a change before society gets to them. Right, so we just thank you for tuning in. I love 2024. How about you?
Yes, sir.
And I'm so much.
2024 was a blessing, man. You know. Yes. You know.
What we got here?
You know. Everybody got to really be careful. We know that a lot of deaths occur at the beginning of the year and at the end of the year. So I say this to you that everybody appreciate what you went through. Mm-hmm. In 2024, mm-hmm. And signs and symbols is for the conscious mind, mm-hmm. right? So don't let a certain pattern repeat itself.
Absolutely.
I should sell to you.
Yes. So we love you guys. All we have is love for you, and we have knowledge as we grow each and every day. So on this side of 2024, we love you, and we're going to see you in 2025, and we're going to have some amazing shows. Q, you're amazing. Thanks for the opportunity with Creative Emotions. It's been an amazing year. So I think I speak for the guys, and we just want you to continue to have an amazing year. Our listening audience that hung in there, we love you. And we'll see you in 2025. Good evening.